All right. Hello, and welcome back to another Chill Conlang stream. It's been about a month since I've done any streams. If you did not see my updates on YouTube, then you might have been a little confused, but I kept having cancellation reasons come up, and ultimately just decided that June was going to be a month off. During this month, I have continued to do videos for my patrons. So there is a patron exclusive series now that would be awesome for you to check out if you joined my Patreon. It is a series of rune poems for the Elder Futhark. So if you're interested in that, you might consider becoming a patron. No pressure. However, I enjoy all of the support I get from people viewing, commenting, everything. I do want to give my patrons shout out to Fishy Lawn Gnome for being an Iridian level patron. Thank you. And I wanted to give an update on sort of plans moving forward. This week we're doing a conlang stream, and next week we will be returning to another Yesterlore. We're going to look at the first verse of the Rig Veda. So that's what we're going to be doing in Yesterlore next week, and then the week following will be another journaling stream. As always, I'm interested in suggestions for other things to do in Yesterlore. So definitely leave a comment or tell me in the chat if you have any ideas. Another thing to be aware of is I still have commissions open for poetry on my Buy Me a Coffee, so you can head over there if you would like a poem. All of those things are linked in the description on YouTube, and just linked in my profile on YouTube and on Twitch. You can find them in my info on Twitch as well. Now, today may be the last day that we spend with this conlang, at least on stream. I have my noun declension system figured out, my conjugation system. I still need to put all the words that I've made into the lexicon, so that will be a process later. And there's still lots to do with this conlang if I ever want to make it like usable. But I don't have high ambitions for this language. I just am doing it for fun. So what I want to do today is I want to make some particle type words. I want to make some like conjunctions and stuff, and I want to do that so that I can make some sentences, and some conjunctions would be helpful for that sort of thing. So that is the plan for now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a bunch of conjunctions into the change sheet and figure out what they'd come out to. So, yeah. One thing I was thinking about is I actually don't end up doing this in most of my Indo-European conlangs, but one of the oldest ways to say and in Indo-European languages is actually to put a clitic that attaches to the word you're adding in an and string. So there's a sort of particle gra or gua, which you add to the, like if you want to say A and B, you say A, B, gua. And that means A and B. And you could just keep adding the gua on and on and on as long as you have ands, basically. And then the or is similar. It's wa. So that's how that works. Oh, I'm spelling with you. That's right. Wa. So that's one way to go. I don't know how that's going to come out in this language, so we're going to find out what that would end up as and see if I even like that. But another thing that happens, well, wa often it like uncliticizes and just becomes a word for or a lot of the time, or not a lot of the time, a couple times in Indo-European languages. But more often than not, it gets replaced with a separate word for or. Same with que being replaced with and. There are only a few languages that I can think of that have like que and another way to say and. I mean, no, that's not true. Most of the places where que survives, there's another way to say and. An interesting one is what sometimes happens is that this gets attached to another particle that just becomes a word for and. So, for example, in Gothic, you end up getting something that comes from. Oops. You get something that comes from this. It ends up being in Proto-Germanic that's yah, yah, and that's just yah in Gothic. But then Gothic also has a suffix that comes from que. It ends up being like metaphysized. It was a h suffix that goes away, but then h at the end of a word is hard to say, so the w and the h switch, and that becomes So Gothic has both ways of doing and I'm thinking of Latin has multiple as well, right? Latin has okay, but it also has et, which comes from what did I just do? Okay, has et, which comes from eti. That's another option for and. So I have some ands for or. There are a few different options for or that I have. How can I do or? I kind of want to do something weird. I want to do like we. I want to use we there. We is like apart from, away, and I want to use it actually for this. This sounds fun. And that a part, that's just sort of like a pointer particle. So it's like apart from that. So there's A, apart from that B. It's like A or B. So I'm going to go and for my options. I'm going to go or. I definitely have more options I could use, but I want to eliminate some of these first, and because I might like how they sound but not want them for and finagle the semantics of these, because these can become other things in the different Indo-European languages. So alright, so first things first, unlabialize, delabialize, vowel shift, not stressed, so it's going to be key, and I think nothing else happens. And because it's its own word, it's gonna be protected from this voicing intervocalically rule. Actually, it's eclitic, so it wouldn't be protected, would it? No, it would not. Yeah, it could become gi, depending on what's before it. If it's a vowel before it, it's a gi. Actually, I kind of like that. I'm using C for K, right? No, I'm not. I'm using C for ch. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna do exclamation point gi. Because actually I'll do gi. Because yeah, there's if there's a vowel before it, it ends up becoming gi. So it's ki or gi, depending on if the word that you're attaching the and to ends with a vowel. I kind of like that. I don't think, because I've like almost never used this particle in my Indo-European languages, I kind of would like to do it here. And I like the sound of that too, like adding ki or gi to the end of the word. So let's see how yokwe comes out. Yokwe. I guess I need to decide I think the yokwe is stressed there. I'm stressing it there, at least. So nothing happens until this gets delabialized. Okay. Ooh, unstressed O becomes A, and stressed KE becomes A, so it's yaka. Yaka. Ooh, the other option is to stress the O, and then it's yuki. Yuki. Do I like yaka or yuki better? What if I just do both, just to see which one I end up liking? Because these are gonna change. They're not going to stay yaka and yuki. One of these is going to go when I make my decision. Yuki. Stress becomes penultimate or anti-penultimate, and then it's, unless there's a heavy penult, there's no anti-penult, so it's yaka. And these K's are gonna go away and become G's. Yaga, Yugi. And how am I spelling J? Am I spelling it with Y or with a J? I'm spelling with an I, okay. Yaga, Yugi, okay. I don't know if I like either of those for and. I might like them for something else though. This could end up being like a relative particle. If I wanted a relative particle, I could have it be like a that kind of thing. Connecting clauses. I might do that actually. I might do Yugi. Yeah. Make it a complementizer phrase. Relative. It's not a relative pronoun, it's a complementizer. It's like the way that "que" gets used a lot in Spanish, in Italian. Complementizer. Let's put C for now. If I don't like that, I might not need a complementizer. Wait, let me look at my verbs. Yeah, I probably will need a complementizer. Or it would be nice to have a complementizer. Alright, let's see. H1 is going to say farewell. That's going to become Ati. Does T do anything of interest? Before I? No, it doesn't. It's just going to become Adi. Adi, not Adi. 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 Do I like adding key at the end better for and, or do I like Adi better? Oh, well, okay, what I can do is I could have this be clausal and this be phrasal and, or like, yeah, phrasal and. I can do the same thing with or. What I mean by that is like when you're like adding another clause and you're saying and also blah blah blah. Whereas this is like I ate soup and a sandwich. Like soup and sandwich go together. You put the and after. Whereas like you wouldn't say I walked for 3 miles and I took a nap under a tree. The and on took a nap under a tree is gonna it's gonna be awkward if I'm still using this because it's like there's been like a whole clause since the thing I'm saying and to. So this one is what you'd use to like link the clauses. Adi. Alright, that's fun. Or, so this is going to be interesting. It's going to be, it's unstressed, so it's going to become we. Ooh, there's going to be 2 forms. It's going to be, we or the. If it's going to be V after a vowel. Okay. Okay. V. I like that. And I guess this will be accented by H. Awi. It's gonna become Avi. Isn't Avi already a word? I think it might be. Yeah, it's gonna be Avi. Okay. This can be the same thing. It'd be like clausal. Phrasal. Okay. Okay. So that's those. A but would also be nice for conjunctions. I wonder. I think I kind of want to use like the day particle somehow for but. Maybe like the how. It's do and how together. Do is used for a lot of things, but like and but also, and then how is away. I think that might come out to something nice sounding, so that's why I want to try that one out. So what's going on? So OH becomes long O, and that applies before E. Yeah, okay, so D long O, E, U. Okay. Well, that's not a long O. Am I using length marks? Oh, yeah, I'm using the actual length marker, not macrons. Just trying to be consistent. Okay, there we go. Doel. Oh, that'll be W. This in this environment. Okay. What's the next thing that happens? The next thing that happens is, I think, the vowel shift. Unstressed O becomes A. It's gonna be long A. And stressed E becomes A. So what's going on here? I have an ultra long A. A triple long A. Do I have anything against it? Oh yeah, because my A is gonna go away. My long A is gonna go away, and it's just gonna become a short A. So heavy penult. I do have a heavy penult. But that's not gonna matter for much longer, because then I have, yeah, Dao, And then comes V. Dav. Anything else interesting happen? No, it's Dav. Is that a thing I'm happy with? Am I happy with that double A coming about? I mean, I've dealt with weirder diphthongs already. Yeah, I've had a double A to Nav. Yeah, I'm just gonna allow that. Yeah, Dav. And I don't need the accent here because there isn't an antipenult to compete with. Dav. Yeah, Dav. But Dav. I like that. Okay. Let's see. I know it would come out to something cool. Let's do. Actually, I want to do something I've always wanted to try doing. So there is a particle nu that ends up just being nu in a lot of Indo-European languages, where it kind of has it's where now comes from when it has like a suffix put onto it, but when it's by itself, often it comes out to a word that just sort of is emphasizing or like indicating the situation. Like it's more like here, like or how would I translate it? Like sort of like indeed a lot of the time. So what I'm going to do, there is a particle that also comes out to meaning things that have to do with the idea of indeed. It's gi, and I've always wanted to put them together into like a double emphatic word. And I think I still want to stress the u, gino. Gino. And I'm just going to have it mean indeed. Or like in fact. Or like really. You know, and the first thing that's gonna happen is goodbye, breathy voice. The second thing I'm gonna happen. The second thing I'm going to have happen is there's a stress shift to Gino. Nothing interesting happens. Maybe I don't want this word just because it's so bland when it comes out to the end, Gino. Maybe I like Gino. I'm not sure if I like Gino. I'm not sure. I think I like it, Gino. Gino. What I also want to figure out is no. Actually, I need to check out something in my declension first before I do that. Okay. So, I want to figure out how I'm going to say no. I'm trying to decide what I want to do here with no, because I kind of want to keep the like prohibitive versus negative separation that exists at least in some dialects of Proto-Indo-European, where there's a word, so the particle that ends up being no in most Indo-European languages is ne. Means no, and it also means not in most cases where you use not. But there's also a particle meh and meh is called a prohibitive marker. And what that does is it's not like your typical, like, this is not the case, or like this is like I am not sad. It's not negating. What it does is it's specifically used in prohibitions, like when you say like don't do this, like it's the negative of like commands. Greek kind of expands that to be also a negative of like wishes, like I hope it's not blah 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 blah, or like I wish this wouldn't happen, or I wish for there not to be something. But you wouldn't use it with an indicative statement like I don't know where my shoes are. That would just be a normal no. And I kind of want to preserve that because I don't think I've ever preserved that in any of my Indo-European languages. So I'm going to do that. Not neg, no, prohib. That's what I'll put there. And not neg, not prohib. Alright, how will these come out though? I don't think either of them are stressed. I don't think either of them are stressed. I mean, I guess in theory for them to be an E, they have to have been stressed at some point, but not anymore, because they're not the stress word. It's like usually going to be the verb that you stress. So this is just be me, and it's going to be long me, which will become short me very soon. Not here, me, there we go. And so we got me and me. Me. Okay. Me feels very gothic to me. It's not. It's not. The rest of the language is not very gothic, but me feels gothic. I don't know why it still had so many rows. I don't need that many. There we go. Okay. So there's my prohibitives and my negatives. This will be interesting because they don't have any verb formation that shows that something is that shows something not being indicative. Yeah, I don't. I only have indicative conjugation, so I think I'm going to have to use modals for Aerialis stuff. I feel like I meant to do that at some point. Do I need to do that still? Yeah, I need to make modals. Yeah. So when I make a language that doesn't have a way to conjugate for something like the subjunctive or the imperative, it's helpful to have modals to do that. Now, one cool thing about having the prohibitive is if I negate something with the prohibitive, if I say me, I'm not saying, like if I were to say like me, I could do something like me, instead of saying me basi for you don't speak, I could say me basi for like don't speak, like I wish you wouldn't speak. And that could be my negative subjunctive maker. Like I could just use me to indicate that it's a command or a hope. But if I want to indicate a command or a hope without negating it, if I want to say like speak, I don't have a clear way to do that unless I have either I use modals or I just have a particle that floats around. Maybe I can do something with maybe I can have an indeed like type particle, but it's like a hopefully kind of thing. Like it'd be nice. I kind of want to use gi or ko or something like that, which is like used for demonstratives a lot of the time. I like hear this kind of thing. Sorry, I was like doing the sound changes in my head to figure out if I would like how that would come out ahead of time. I think I would like it. Okay, yeah, I think I would like it. Okay, so I'm gonna do let's call it an irrealis marker. And it's gonna be okay. And it just goes before the verb. So that's gonna be J G chi. That's gonna get spelled chi. Cool. Chi. Yeah. Actually, I kind of really like that because what I want to do, this is indeed, I could have like a lighter indeed. This is just like the positive for indicatives, just like a lighter emphatic that's not quite like this indeed is happening, but even just like it happens and I'm clarifying that it's true in a lighter way, like a semantically bleached way. So then what I end up with is I have like a realis emphatic, and then a negator that's realis, and then an irrealis marker, and then a negator that's irrealis. That's kind of nice. You can come from yeah, but it's like the same thing. Gangi and Kianki are like the same thing. That'll become gi. That'll become gi. And we're all good. Gi, and this is just like an extra gi. Gino. Gino. Yeah. Yeah. I like that. Okay. Chibasi. Speak. Mibasi. Do not speak. Yibasi. You do speak. Mibasi. You do not speak. Okay. Enjoy watching the spoon fall on my face. I do that a lot. I'll just leave a spoon in a cup that I'm drinking from. Okay. So, where were we? We've got some particles. We've got some conjunctions. We don't really have prepositions. Are my infinitives conjugable? Or declinable, I mean. They are They are They end with I kind of want to make them declinable. Yeah, I kind of really want to make them declinable. The issue I'm having is that would be the oblique, not the locative. It's tum or dum. So the thing with tum and dum is that they seem to me to be what would become the oblique stem. Tum dum. And I feel like the locative stem would be like tau. It would be like tau or tav. Yeah, it would be tav. We can see that with the U stems over here. It would be av instead of u. Like the M we've gotten rid of. We only need the N in the thematic one just to differentiate it from the other cases. But this is essentially the same stem that would be like tanhun, and we're keeping it M for verbs just because they're special. We're almost like treating it as like a reborrowing. So if we were trying to get the locative stem, it would be av. It would be like daishtav, budav, badav, dadav, hanadav. But I don't like that. I don't like how that sounds. So I'm not going to do that. If is the locative, how can I get these other cases out of it? Dum is, if this is locative and this the case that we use for the subject, then what would it be? Would it just be like do? And we go toi and doit, and it's just irregular. Or do we bring in the I that we brought in for the obliques with R stems that comes from like a dative boy, like tui, dui. Yeah, I kind of like it. I like it. Yeah, tum tua tui. So then we have like givadui. The reason I'm trying to figure out if I can decline the infinitives is so I can have like some interesting meanings with infinitives. Like I could have like let's say our noun is fear. You could have a fear of speaking with a genitive, badwa. But also so that you could have like a different form that you use with prepositions with the oblique, like in order to, like I don't know, eating in order to live. Be givadui, oblique, live, like in order to live. So if I have a preposition that means like in order to, and then I put givadui after it, because putting just givadum is, I don't know how I feel about that. Maybe I don't need to decline it. Maybe it could just be like one of these root. I could just treat it as like a root noun. Maybe none of this is necessary and I didn't even have to do this. I actually think I'm not going to decline it. I changed my mind entirely. That happens sometimes when you're calling. You just completely change your mind. I just completely changed my mind. I don't want it to decline anymore. I'll just have prepositions that do the job. And it'll just be zero marked differently for if it's of. We have a fear to speak. I have a fear of speaking. Of speaking fear. They don't need to be marked differently. That's fine. So do I want some modals? Not today. I think I'll come up with modals on my own time. In my next conlang stream, or in my next conlang, I think if I have modals, I will show that process, just so you can see how I do it. Whoa, did not mean to do that. So I guess the next thing we could do is maybe write some example sentences. That might be fun. So let's look at my change vocabulary or my declension vocabulary, see what nouns I have and verbs or adjectives and verbs I have in the conjugation, just to figure out what I am able to say. And then I can just build a lexicon from there. How about, let's look at my verbs now. Let's do my mother spoke to my dad. My mom spoke to my dad. Yeah. So my is, we've got to look at the first person singular possessive, money. Money. And she's the subject. She's the location as well. Madil. Money. Madil is the subject. The object is my dad. That would be money. And then dad would probably be, because you're speaking to him, he'd be oblique. So he'd be psari. Money psari. And I think I said this earlier, I don't want to decline the possessive adjective, or the possessive pronoun. I'm going to use the possessive pronoun as a possessive adjective as well. I don't think I'm going to decline it. I think I said that before. Maybe I said the opposite. If I said the opposite, then it wouldn't be mani. It would be like munai. Munai. Munia, and then mani would be like the oblique of it. But I'm not going to do that. It's just going to be a static, like article type thing that doesn't change. Mani, psari. And then my verb is going to be speak. And it's spoke. And it's spoke like one time. I think it's a completed action and not a ongoing action in the past. Like, I'm talking about one specific time that my mother was speaking to my dad. So I'm going to say bais is my verb. Now the question is the order. In what order do I want things to go in? I don't think I ever decided that. Bais. I might have talked about this before when I was talking about my case system. I might have had a reason for. I might have had a word order related reason for why the locative became the nominative as well. Yeah, I think I'm going to do SOV for this language. Mani madil. Mani psari. Bais. Mani madil, mani psari, bais. Am I fine with having a dative just be straight up oblique instead of with a part like a preposition or postposition or something? Maybe I need a postposition. 2. Well, no, because yeah, I do maybe, because the oblique is also used for direct objects. in this language. So I think I do need a preposition. Do I? Maybe. No. I have a better idea. I'm going to use a secundative. Secundative. So when you have a ditransitive verb, like in this case, speak can be ditransitive, languages will make different decisions about how they want to mark the arguments in a ditransitive verb. So usually with the ditransitive verb, you have the giver, the donor, right? You have the recipient or the beneficiary, and then you also have the patient, right? Now this situation is a little bit different than like a normal transitive sentence where you have like an agent and a patient. So like there's just one because it's not ditransitive, it's just transitive, monotransitive, or I guess that would be unitransitive. So what many languages will do is they'll keep the patient, mark the patient, and then the recipient will be like in a dative case, like, and they'll treat the agent and the donor the same. There is at least one language I know of where the donor gets marked separately, but usually the donor and the agent are the same person, the same thing, and often they're the subject, the grammatical subject as well. Not always, but they're usually the grammatical subject. The subject. So they'd be like nominative would go here, and then you have your patient be patient, that's accusative, and then your recipient would be dative. Now, if this is an ergative absolutive language, it's a little bit different. Your donor or your agent would be ergative, your patient would be absolutive, and then you'd have, again, like some kind of dative case here. However, there's another option, which is to treat the recipient as the patient and make the recipient accusative, be nominative, or I guess in an ergative absolutive language, this would be ergative and this would be absolutive, and then you have a special case for the patient in a ditransitive verb, and this would be the secundative. There's like some other way to mark the patient. Because in a ditransitive verb, it's sort of like the recipient has more agency, usually. The recipient is like usually going to be a person or like entity, that you're giving the thing to or doing the thing for. It's usually going to be animate or animate entities will be involved with it. Like if you're giving something to the post office, that's like a collective of people who work at a post office. So the idea is there's more animacy involved with the post office than there is with the package, right? The package is a patient, like semantically, but it's less of like, in a transitive verb, you do something to someone or something, like you can eat pizza, you can kick a ball, you can kill someone, so the patient could be animate or inanimate. But you only have two things to worry about, so you're not really thinking about, at least in a nominative accusative language or even an ergative absolutive language, you're not too worried about the animacy of the two. But with a ditransitive, it's sort of like who matters more in the sentence. Does the thing you're sending matter more? Does the recipient matter more? It probably just depends on the context, usually. But a lot of languages will prioritize the recipient. Even nominative accusative languages will prioritize the recipient, like word order wise. Like they might put a indirect object pronoun, like the sort of dative slot before the direct object pronoun, the patient slot, word order wise. So some languages, languages do different things with this. And I kind of want to treat the recipient as the direct object. So I need some secundative, I guess like a particle. Like let's say I want to say my mother said the truth. My mother spoke the truth to my father. So the thing that she's speaking, or that she spoke, is going to be the patient. It's the thing said. It's the direct object. It's the patient. But, or I guess it's more like a theme, but grammatically it would be the same. But I'm going to have a second dative marking on it to show that I'm not speaking to, she didn't speak to the truth. She didn't speak my father to the truth. She spoke the truth to my father. So the second dative, I need some kind of second dative particle. And I think the way I want to do that is I want to use some kind of word that means like cargo maybe, or a package, or carrying. Ooh, I could use the verb or some derivative from the verb for to carry, which is bad, barati, to bear, to carry, that which is carried. I want some kind of derivative noun from that. I guess that would be just a detransitive noun, something like that. I think that's where the word for tribute comes from in Greek. Wait, no, where that accent is would be an adjective. This is what I want. So goodbye to yeah, I'm semantically bleaching this basically. So it's kind of like the way that the word for house in Latin or one of the words for house in Latin becomes the word for at the home of as a preposition in French. Secondative. Okay. Farewell to the breathy voice. Oh, wait, there's no consonant there. I don't do anything with that yet. Buddha. Oh, there's still an S there. It's just gonna go away later. It's just gonna be Buddha, I think. Yeah. Maybe I want it short. Maybe I just want to have it be Bur. Actually, I kind of like it being longer. I like it being a thicker particle. Buddha. So, and I think I'm going with postpositions here because it's SOV and that just feels right to have postpositions. I could have prepositions, but I like the idea of having postpositions. Basically, the prepositions come after the noun instead of before, so they're not prepositions, they're postpositions. Oh, I don't have a noun of what she said. She said what to my dad? She said she spoke I guess I'm kind of doing a weird thing with this verb for speak, huh? I'm using it to mean say instead of speak. Maybe I want to say instead. I think I need that verb though. Unless I want speak to also mean say. You know what? I do want this verb to be fairly common. I think I am going to make it mean say. Because it's like one of these weird irregular thematics. I also want put to mean give. I thought about that too. this is not going to be a general thing in the language where, yeah, I just want these two verbs to be really common verbs, so I'm making them mean a lot of things. So I'm going to say she said. What did she say? Did she say the truth? Do we need to make a word for truth? Maybe I do. Maybe I do need to make a word for truth. I gotta think about what I can do. I know what my word for true is gonna be as an adjective, but truth. Could just use the feminine suffix, the one that makes things abstract. I might do that, yeah. Okay. Question is, does the stress go on it? I think it goes on it. Okay. No, I'm not gonna have it go on. I'm gonna have it go on the suffix. Okay. It's a 1 and then it's H2. Okay. Truth. Because true is going to be, I think this is going to have the stress. Yeah. I'm gonna just decline 2 on the side. Oh, all right. True. Saying true in a box on Google Sheets does something weird. Okay, so long E here. So it's going to be oh, way. Okay. Okay, I need to spell out the W. Okie dokie. EH2 becomes long A, so it's okay. That's, I think, basically what it is in Proto-Balto-Slavic or something like that. Some kind of glottalization or something going on there, because I know there's a tone contour that shows up. Let's see. The next thing is the vowel shift. So this is going to be vira. It's already A. And then here we have wa ra. Waras. Ooh, I'm just realizing this is gonna be thematic. Actually, both of these will be thematic. Both of these are gonna be thematic nouns, right? Did I do thematics with long A? I did. Yeah, they come out like this. So truth is gonna come out like this, and I think, yeah, truth is gonna come out like this, and true is going to come out like this. So basically they're going to look identical in terms of their declension. It's going to be on for both of them, because I know that the S is going to go away here and the length is going to go away here. So it's going to, they're both going to with A. Wait, this one doesn't need to change. It's already penultimate. Length goes away. Vira varas. What's going to be vira varas, and then it's going to be vira vara down here. Vara, yeah. Vira vara. Vira truth, vara true. So truth, and truth is going to be also oblique, but with bura after it. Virambura. 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 You know, bura is like always gonna have an oblique before it. But the oblique is not always gonna end with N, is it? Yeah, no, it's not always gonna end with N. I was gonna say it'd be cool if it would be like virambura. Virambura. That would definitely change the stress. That would be virambura instead of virambura. 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 So yeah, it's first singular possessive. First singular possessive mother locative. First singular possessive father oblique. Truth oblique. Secundative. Speak. Perfective. Second person singular. Alright, yeah. So, mani madil manipsari virambura bais. My mother told my father the truth. It's pretty wordy for my mother told my father. My mom told my dad the truth. Mani madil manipsari virambura bais. Okay. Interesting. Okay. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. My mom told my dad the truth. It's actually the same amount of words as it is in English, but they're both... Every word in English is monosyllabic, and every word here is disyllabic, except for bais. Yes, okay. So, next word is... Next sentence, I mean, is... Let's go my verbs. Give. Do I have things to give? I want to do another ditransitive. This is fun. Sweet. Could I make sweet into a noun? I don't have a lot of like tangible nouns. I could, I guess, do silver, or fee. I also don't have a lot of people. I only have mom and dad. This is the only people I have, I think. Wait, that's not true. I think I have some other words for people, maybe. Maybe I don't. Maybe I don't. It's me figuring out conjugation stuff. Demonstratives. This pronouns. I guess I could use pronouns. Yeah, I guess I could use pronouns. Since I don't have a lot of words for people. How about we gave them, 3 plural. We gave them the fee. We gave them the silver. Yeah. So we gave would be, and again, that would be perfective as well. That would be dami. It's our verb. So dami. To them would be in the oblique. Just straight up object, because secundative language. What's the pronoun for we again? It's umi is the locative. Umi. And then silver oblique arjuntun bura dami. First plural locative, I guess just first plural, because locative is the default one. Okay, and then 3 plural, I guess I could just do P. 3 plural oblique, silver oblique, put perfective first person plural. Alright, so we to them silver gave. We gave them silver. We put the silver to them. Okay. Right. How about don't don't show him the fee. Maybe. Let me look at my pronouns again. Third person singulars. Yeah, it's in as well. So it'd still be in. Yeah. So that would be the fee. So him in. I guess I could say 3 oblique because it's the same for the plural and the singular. Oblique. In kainan bura. Fee oblique secundative. Show. This would be perfective again. Perfective second person singular daishi. And it would be ni. No, it would be mi because it's prohibitive. Ni daishi. Ni daishi would be you are not showing the fee to him. This is don't show the fee to him. Prohib. Show. Oh wait, no, that wasn't imperfective. That's the perfective one, isn't it? Or the yeah, that's imperfective. I want perfective. Daish. Daish. Mi daish. Perfective. To S. Okay. Mi daish. And I could also make this optional as well. What was the second person singular? Probably at toi. Toi. Kind of sounds like French, doesn't it? Like the emphatic French pronoun. Toi. Toi. It literally is toi. Toi in kainan buramidaish. Or just in kainan buramidaish. Because it's like, I hope you don't show him the fee, or don't show him the fee. Mi daish. I guess I'll do another subjunctive one. I guess what I want to do is live. Yeah. I think what I want to do is I want to use the locative as a locative with a locative meaning. Yeah, I want to use a locative with a locative meaning. I'm going to do liman. Yeah, I'll do what is it? I is ama. Yeah, ama. Liman. Ama. Chi. Give. What is it? I live. Chi giva. Yeah, chi giva. Chi giva. Liman ama chi giva. So it's lake, locative. First person singular, locative. Aerialis. First person, yeah, live. First person singular. It's imperfective. first person singular, because it's just in general I live there, not a one-time thing. I want to live at a lake. Lima nama Chigiba. And actually, again, the ama is not necessary because that is because the first person conjugation. I just realized, why is this second person? Why did I put the second person here? If you were in the audience this whole time wondering why the heck did you put second person, sorry, that was a mistake. Bite, third person. I think it's because my table is different from how it usually looks, because usually I would expect the I would expect the third person singular to be right underneath where the second person singular is. So I looked, my eyes looked here, they looked here, and then we're like, this is 3, or this is, I think my eyes hit this one first, Bami, and then I was like, well, the one above it, I looked over here, I looked at 1P, and I was like, okay, that's first person plural. So my eyes like just looked above it and was like, okay, bice. But what's going on with this language, which I talked about a few sessions prior, is that the third person doesn't distinguish number in verbs. So I needed to look down here. And I was afraid that this kind of thing would happen, and it did. So yeah, bite. Bite, yeah. Mani madil manipsari virambora bite. In Arjuntun Buradami, in Kainan Buramidaish, Liman Chigiva. I like how this language is sounding. I like how this language is sounding a lot. Yeah, I'm happy. Yeah, Liman Chigiva. Liman Chigiva. I like the locative lake here. Liman. Wonderful. Yeah, okay. I'm happy with this. So now I'm going to make some more complex sentences that use some of my particles that I made today. So I think I just need more vocabulary to actually use a lot of this. I guess I could use, my problem is I have a lot of adjectives, but I don't have a lot of verbs that would lend to having described nouns like this. So I need to make more nouns. It's gonna be hard. Maybe just a word for home would be good, or house, because then I get a flat house, a deep house, an aquatic house. Just have house be my dummy noun for today. So yeah, let's make a word for house. I think it'd be a root noun. Right? And that ends up being long a lot of the time. It would just be dom, I think, if it were long, and it would just be dumb. It would just end up being dumb at the end of the day, dumb. And it would be indeclinable, which is no fun, because I want to be able to use the different cases with it. So maybe I don't want a root noun. Maybe I want to use different, I mean, Latin just made it into a not root noun. Domus. But that would end up being a thematic noun, which is still kind of boring. It would just be dama, dama, daman. And I don't want that either. So I want a different word for house. What word for house do I want? Let's think here. I want a word that is not I want a word that's not a thematic noun. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this root, one that means like to be or become, and I'm gonna make a noun out of it with tu. Place of residence, or like living residence, and make that into my noun for a house. Now this is actually going to be the oblique root. This would be my locative root, and then it would be wes would be the genitive, and that's just going to come out to whatever this is, but instead of av. This is going to be av. It's going to be something av, ustav or something. So h2 is going to become h, right? Down here. And then vowel shift turns that E into an A, ustav, and then that stress shift, hustav, the hustav, and that's my word for house, hustav. Interesting that how similar it sounds to hus, which is hus is old Danish for house, but it's not related at all. House oblique. House oblique is going to be, that's going to be H. H. W. Huesto. Huesto. Huasto. The H isn't between. Okay, so the S is not between, so it's fine. H, nothing before. Okay, H. Obstruent H, there's no obstruents. HW doesn't do anything funky. So we're good. H. What does V do after H? Or W do after H? It's after consonant, so it doesn't change, so it stays huastu. HW doesn't do anything funky, so it's just gonna be huastu. Huastu. Gustav Huastu. And I'll put that in the declension table too, just for fun. It's a U stem. House. Gustav, Hustua, House, Huastu. All right. So we have house. Kasumi. Huastu. Okay. Kasumi. Actually no. Yeah, Kasumi. Madiri. Mani Madiri. Plato Huastu pura. Plato Huastu pura. Diet. Oh, I guess I don't need any. Do I need a complementizer? Maybe I don't. Maybe I don't need yugi at all. Because I could just say chi and then the verb, and that makes it clear that it's... Yeah. Chi. Yeah, okay. Chi. Okay. This is gonna be pretty violent, but chiguno. Yeah, I don't think I need yugi. Because I was thinking like dait yugi. I'll put yugi there for now and just explain what I'm doing here. So, so this is an interrogative / indefinite pronoun, and it's locative. It's like who. It's like who or like whosoever, or whoever, someone, depending on the force of what I'm saying. And then I said, my mother, right? First person, singular, possessive, mother. Oh wait, these are not the words for mother and father. I don't know why I keep doing this. It's mom and dad. Because the words for mother and father were from a different root, I think. My mother, and she is oblique, but just straight up oblique. And then it's flat, oblique, house, oblique, secundative. So, and then it's put, perfective, third person. And then I guess complementizer, like basically embedding this clause within this one, saying that like this is an argument of this, but this is not an argument of this. All of this needs to be complementized before kasumi. Actually, yeah, okay. Kasumi. Then I have Irialis. Kill. Stative. Third person. So it's like die. Like let them die. Or whoever that is should die. Whoever gave my mom a flat house should die, is what this says. Yeah, do I need the yugi? That's the question. Wani madiri platu huastu bura dait kasumi chigono. I think that's fine. It's very like sort of Japanesey, like you could just have like the verb come before the noun that it's describing, like the gave to my mama flat house person should die. It is a little weird because it's an interrogative pronoun, but I think it's fine. Maybe yugi's optional. Maybe I have yugi be optional. If you want to like make it extra clear, but like in most contexts it's fine. Maybe it's a formality thing. Maybe in formal like written documents they use yugi, but in general they do not. Yeah, I think that works out. Okay, I ended up needing yugi. I think I can do one more sentence. I'll do a copular sentence. I don't have a copula. I think I said I was gonna have a null copula. So I'm just gonna say Tavi sal, locative. All right, tabib sal. Tabib sal. And then the adjectives are going to agree. They're all going to be locative. Okay, that might be fun. Dlugav. Dlugav. Sunchwanki. Oops. Sunchwanki. Bunjavki. Okay. I guess these can each go on their own. Oh, wait, no, that wasn't supposed to happen. Why can't I control Z that? Okay, that's weird. I thought I highlighted everything but Dlugav. Okay, Dlugav. And there's no verb. Bunjavki. Okay, so second singular possessive dad. Sweet, locative. Bearded, locative plus it's and key, and then thick. And your dad is sweet, bearded, and thick is what that means. And there's no is, it's just there's no verb there at all. It's just implied. Basically, there's null copula there. So, I got to use ki there. There's no gi. I think if I were to use, if I were to have like an oblique there, there would be a chance of using gi after the like u, like banjo or dlaugu. Banjugi, dlaugugi. But since father was the subject, he's locative, and so are the adjectives describing him. All right, I think that'll be the last sentence. So that will be all for today. I've made a lot of progress in this language. I think this is going to be the last stream of this conlang. So next time there's a conlang stream, we'll be doing a different conlang. So that is what you have to look forward in terms of conlangs. Look forward to. Next week we will be doing Agni Suktam. Finally, I made the announcement like a month ago that we were going to do it, and then June happened. But we will be doing Agni Suktam next week, and the following week will be more journaling. So stay tuned for that. Thank you so much to everyone who has been supporting me and watching my streams / recordings of my streams on YouTube. Again, if you are on YouTube, you can still leave a comment. I will see it. Thank you. Do the YouTubey things like comment, subscribe. And I will see you next time. Thank you for everything. And I hope you have a good rest of whatever time zone you're in. Thank you and farewell.